Hello, mindful friends. Today we're going to be talking about how to use our voices mindfully. And this came up for me this last week because I lost my voice to a severe sore throat. And like Thich Nhat Hanh says, with his teaching on a toothache, we don't appreciate our healthy bodies and our pain-free bodies and body parts until we experience that pain in them, or having that toothache helps us to then appreciate afterwards the times when we have healthy teeth and do not have a toothache. So I recognized this last week how much I take my voice for granted and how often I use my voice in the days. And when I was unable to, it really made me reflect on why it's so important to have a voice, what I use that voice for, what's most important to me to communicate, and how do I communicate. And I think a lot of us take this for granted on so many levels of the importance of our voices and what we are saying and what we are communicating. And I think what I reflected on was how many times I say frivolous things, or maybe not hurtful, but not helpful things, or things that are jokes, or even little jabs within little comments that I make throughout the day, or things that don't serve much of anything except for maybe, like a little insult to somebody or a judgment. And is that really serving me or the world around me to be making those kinds of comments? And it also helped me to recognize the energy behind my words. So this might go into like reflects in tone of voice, or kind of the energy or the feeling behind the words that we're saying, what's going into the words. And that when we reflect on this, we think, well, one, words are really powerful and they can influence a lot in our world, as we kind of see through news and media and social media, how much words alter the world around us and people's views of us and the world around us. And that this is something to be taken quite seriously and to approach very intentionally, of how do you want to use your words and what do you want those words to do out in the world. And sometimes we think we have great motivations behind our words. We think we want to use them to make change or help something be discovered or realized in others, the people in our lives, or the community around us. But if the energy behind our words, or if the nature of our words is not carrying the kindness or the peace or the energy of healing that we're wanting to bring, are they really being that productive? And we also talked about this in the course I just took through Plum Village tradition on Zen and the art of saving the planet. But we think about these things that we want to do to make change, or we want to convince people around us to make change. And we want to really watch the energy behind the action we're taking in that, or the words that we're saying within that motivation. And if we are doing it in a spirit of anger or judgment or hatred, that that will not end up creating that kind of reverberation out into the world of goodness that we're hoping for. And so this week I really got to go quiet and think about the intention behind my words, and thinking about the energy and the feelings and kind of the characteristics that I hold within myself while I'm generating the words that I'm saying. And like I said, I did recognize that a lot of times, and it's easy, at home and with my partner, of you can kind of forget and you talk so much just through the day. You're talking while you're moving, you're talking while you're cooking, while you're doing dishes, while you're doing all your activities. And when your mind is that divided, sometimes it's hard to carry that intention in what you're saying. And I started to recognize how many times I just let this kind of unsettled internal state fly out of my mouth into how I'm speaking to my partner, the things that I say. That sometimes they're a little bit harsher judgment or jabs, or maybe it's a joke that is, carrying some kind of malintent behind it, or kind of negative energy behind it. And so when I couldn't speak, it was like, wow, when you actually can say something, it's that much more intentional. And it doesn't just come flying out of your mouth without thought behind it, without intention behind it, that you really have to take that time to digest how you're feeling, what energies you're carrying behind those words, what effect you want the words to have on the world around you. And that having that actually really changes the dynamics of the relationships in your life, but also how you kind of show up in everything in the world around you, because you're not just happenstance, in the spur of the moment, spewing what is inside of you, but that you take every word like it's precious. Like each word is a little gift to the world around you, or each word is a reflection of what's going on within you and what you're wanting to share with the world around you. And if we treat each word more intentionally like that, giving it the weight that it deserves, that maybe we can actually start generating some more healing with our words, rather than spewing out negative internal states and letting that be our effect on the world around us, letting that be our sharing with the world around us. But looking at every word as something precious. Like, it's amazing to have a voice and to be able to express ourselves out in the world. And what do you really want to say? And not only what do you really want to say, but what do you want the feeling and meaning and energy to be behind what you are saying? And what's the intent of those words out in the world? Why are you saying them? That's a big one. Are you doing it to get your way, to convince somebody? Or are you really saying those words to create healing and connection? And then watching, are they really doing that for you? Are they helping you to generate connection? So I got this amazing gift in this illness this week to examine my words and to take it a little more slowly. Of, if I can't just spew out and talk easily all day, can I be a little more intentional about what I say, when, and why? So I invite you this week, maybe experiment with that, of don't talk so much, but talk more intentionally. Make each word a little bit more impactful and a little bit more of a true reflection of who you want to be and what you're wanting to share with the world. If you enjoy these talks and would like to join us for a group session or individual coaching, you can find us at newleafmindfulness.com. You can find these teachings and many more in my book, Living from the Heart, Healing Ourselves So We Can Heal the World. You can find that anywhere you buy your print or audio content. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I hope to see you all very soon.